Hello and welcome to the coverage of our Mythic Championship qualifier here in Vienna, hosted by Spielraum. My name is Matthias and I'm joined today by the one and only Lord of the Cards, Portele.
Hello.
Well, we'll be bringing you 7 rounds. We have
Yeah.
exactly 128 players.
Yeah, that's what the judge told me. I'm not sure if it's the last count, but as far as I know, that's the amount. So 7 rounds.
Only
exactly.
7 rounds, yeah.
Which is a bit more stressful for the players, because if we had 129 players and 1 round more, the tiebreakers would be changing and the points would be changing, so it would be easier
Yeah.
to get in the top 8.
I was talking to a few players before the tournament. They were all expecting 8 rounds, and were telling me that you could most certainly draw in with come in with 6-0-2. So if you go 6-0, you could draw the last 2 rounds. With only 7 rounds now, we'll see how, as you said, breakers will fall down. Of course, we'll be bringing you all the rounds live, and of course, the top 8 as well. Players are getting ready for feature matches. For round 1, we have picked a player who's near and dear to our heart, our very own Christopher Postel. People who follow our YouTube channel, of course, know him very well. He's playing a spicy brew of his own.
Yeah.
He's calling it Orzhov RangerBlade.
Okay, but it's the core of the Matter life deck, more or less, and of course with Stoneforge Mystic, and with a black splash, but more for the sideboard for the.
Yeah, I don't think he has any black cards in the main board.
Yes, he has Sorin.
Ah, yeah,
The
sorry,
new
of
Sorin,
course.
yes.
He has the new 4-mana Sorin, and he's playing the full 8 Ranger package. So 4 Ranger of Eos and 4, what's the new one called?
Ranger Captain.
Captain of Eos.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of searching the library for 1-drops.
Yeah. Because the question occurred in the chat: what kinds of modern decks do we both play? It's a bit of a tricky question for me, because at the moment I don't play anything. The last deck I played was UV Control, because I like to play with Teferi and Chase and annoy my opponent. But now with the changes in the metagame and the Stoneforge Mystic unban, I probably would switch this, because something like Rest in Peace main deck is not useful anymore or viable. So yeah.
So you're not certain about that.
Yeah.
Well, I have to be honest, I'm not playing that much Modern myself. I'm just following coverages. I would probably play some variant of the Ursa Top the Sword deck, because that's kind of my style. I like artifacts, so.
Yeah. And you like to combo and you like to win big.
Yeah. And there's also like a lot of small technical details you have to watch out when playing the deck, and I like that. So I think I would go for Ursa Top the Sword. We'll be checking in with our players. They are already shuffling. In the background, we can hear the head judge giving his announcement.
Yeah. We will, of course, wait till the head judge starts the round or the deck lists are collected. But we will run on our separate round time, so we don't need to worry too much.
Yeah. So if you hear any like timeout announcements in the background, these will be not for our feature matches, because of course the players have to get here. We have to get them seated. They will have the Life Point app explained to them, because the last time we had our Mythic Championship qualifier here, there were quite a few problems with that. So hopefully players will be able to handle that. I'm trying to listen a bit to our head judge, of course, Christian Garbelovic, Krieger as he is called, our head judge again. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this tournament.
Yeah, I'm
very
not
excited.
sure which opponent Christopher has.
I think it's Stastny Martin.
Ah, okay.
I'm not familiar with.
I read
with him.
Martin because I don't know his surname at the moment. So, yeah. Okay,
All right.
the round can begin. I'm not sure our players don't start at the moment, and we don't have the deck list, so
but they are presenting
they're
decks.
presenting. So we start the round, and we will switch to their table.
Tables, yeah. I will just inform maybe our co-worker that he might close the door so the players can't hear us. Koks, kannst du die Tür zumachen? Alright, because we want to have a fair tournament here, of course. Players are playing next door, so yeah, it would be kind of embarrassing if they could hear us. So I missed the dice roll, so I'm not really sure who's starting first.
So
I can see 2 lands, I think, in Christopher's hand. At least 2 lands. He is, of course, playing Mistveil Plains in his deck as late game engine.
The opponent of Christopher is playing the Rack.
The Rack, okay, already an interesting matchup.
That's funny.
Bontu's Last Reckoning.
There
Awesome.
you go, you can.
3 Ensnaring Bridges main board. 2 Davriel Roach Shadow Mage. 1 Extirpate main board, 1 Surgical Extraction main board, so he's still kind of worried about graveyard decks.
We have a good chance to see Christoph board hand. He started with a Give of Runes.
He has, of course, a Battle Skull, Path to Exile, Sarah's Ascendant, and Ranger of Ears, of course, the new artwork, and this is a Mistveil Plains, is it? Yeah,
yes,
should be Mistveil Plains. Yes, I'm a bit confused by the new artwork. I'm, of course, rather an old school player, so I'm more familiar with the, what's it, Morning Tide? Was it low in a Morning Tide? And he's taking the Battle Skull. Martin, of course, dropping to 18 in the process.
So.
And an attack of Give of Runes brings him down to 17. And Christopher follows up with the Sarah Ascendant.
So I turned up the volume because the chat told us we are very low on volume. I hope it's better now. Please keep us posted so that I can switch if necessary.
Will be interesting to see the Extirpate and the Surgical Extraction actually being decent against Christopher, because, as mentioned, he is going for some kind of late game with the Mistveil Plains and his Ranger package, where he can keep putting 1-drops on the bottom of his deck and then return Rangers with the Sorin. He told me that's his late game plan. I'm very excited to see the new addition to the 8-Rack deck, Davriel. Okay, apparently it's only getting discarded.
Yeah, you see him pitched, so...
Okay, Martin again going for discard mode and killing the Give of Runes. There's now a Ranger Captain of Eos in Christopher's hand. Interestingly, Christopher's strategy of searching up drops out of his deck is actually giving him an advantage here, because
he has more to discard and more cards in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
So no damage taken from the Rack.
I can see a Liliana of the Veil being huge here, but Martin is starting with the Rack.
Okay.
Which is an interesting decision, because if Christopher follows up with a land, the Liliana will not be able to snatch the Sarah Ascendant. Although maybe the other card is the better one.
Anywhere.
Okay, yeah, there's a Smallpox, so both players sacrifice a land, discard a card, lose 1 life.
So that's quite devastating.
Yeah, the 4-drop has to go, creature has to go as well, yeah.
Yeah, but now he's back to 1 land, and with a 3-drop and another.
I think it's a Give of Runes as second to last card in hand. Yeah, and the Rack is already triggering.
So
I think it's March of Sand.
Yeah, which is nice, but it will not have a long
This is the 3rd land. Wow, this is the 3rd land for Martin. This is huge here.
Yes. Wow, that hurts. Okay, so he goes for the minus, of course.
Very interesting to see that Manuel, I think we missed the name, is actually playing 9 swamps and 3 snow-covered swamps. Richmond.
Yeah.
This discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card, which in this case, of course, means Christopher has to discard 2 cards, no equipments in his hand. Liliana plus. Okay, and there's already scoop from Christopher.
The question is, does Christopher play Proclamation 2? No, he don't.
Okay, he doesn't play Proclamation.
No.
Yeah, he's a bit more on the aggressive side with the potential to go late game with his Ranger package.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at his sideboard.
I mean, he has flag stones of Torquir main deck, so it would be nice for a smallpox incoming.
Yeah. If you would have had that.
Yeah,
it
it's
would
a
be great.
very rare that you have a main deck out for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem is I think he was a bit too slow and a bit too land light
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah, the smallpox really got him there.
Yeah.
So the sideboard, he has 2 Edison Canonists, not going to bring in those. Kambal, Consul of Allocations. Not sure about that one. Plague Engineer, of course, not doing anything. Anguish making is a catch-all removal. He might bring in Celestial Purge, of course.
Disenchant, of course.
Disenchant can grab the
The
wreck.
wreck, yes.
Gideon is already 4-mana card. I'm not sure he's bringing that in. Kaya Scout.
You can't upper your rear curve. You need to lower it if possible.
Yeah.
I even would get out a Ranger, Captain of Ears, or the Saurins, or minimize them because the 4-drops. I mean, okay,
You mean the Ranger of Ears, not the Ranger Captains of Ears.
the Ranger of Ears, the 4-drop. Sorry, yes.
We can get confused quite a bit here.
Yeah, because getting to 4 lands and then still having the card in your hand is very unlikely.
Yeah, so probably lower your curve. Maybe Kambal is an option because
if you have a second creature on the board and he doesn't have a spot removal, you can maybe get value out of his all non-creature spells.
Yeah, he doesn't have any creatures. I'm taking a look at his sideboard. His Manuel is running 2 Pitting Needles, 3 Dampening Spears, not going to bring any of those. Wretched Bomb is an interesting option because Christopher is running a lot of 1-drops, of course.
Yes.
He has 2 Elder Spells.
Yeah,
which I find very interesting.
Yeah, it's a good Planeswalker removal.
Especially if you have your own Planeswalkers out, as we know,
yes.
Davriel and Liliana.
I don't think a Wretched Bomb and maybe Pithing Needle, because Bonta's Last Reckoning is a mass removal.
Yeah, I think he'll bring in those. The Bonta's Last Reckoning, I'm pretty sure he'll bring in those against the creature deck. The Lena of the Voids. I mean, he has seen Mistveil Plains, but I'm not sure he's concerned that the long game. I mean, if he's reaching the long game, then I think the matchup favors Christopher anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll bring in the Leyland of the Voids. We'll see. I mean, he has seen Mistveil Plains, so maybe he's a bit concerned about the engine.
But I don't think so, because you need 2 white permanents in on the battlefield. Then you need to tap a land. Then you get it back to the bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Christopher has already a lot going on by then, and
it's a grind out engine mostly for control decks, and the rec is more on the controllish side, right? But it presents a clock too.
Yeah,
normally.
It's a very all-in.
Yes.
Strip your opponent of the resources deck. So if Christopher reaches the point where Mistveil Plane gets activated multiple times, he should be far enough ahead to win. So Leyline, we think, is not coming in. Bond's Last Reckoning. Pithing Needle is an interesting one because, of course, it can shut down stuff like Martyr, of course,
and the
equipment package, as well as Give of Runes. Although there's not like targeted spot removal in Manuel's deck, I think. So I think it's not concerned.
Portality would be, but that's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. That's good enough. I see Mutavolt, Liliana, Christopher starting
with the Give again
with Give of Runes.
Okay.
There's an Inquisition. I can't quite make out what's the third, the last card next to Liliana.
It's a Wretched Mind, isn't it?
I can see a Wretched Mind. Maybe it's I think it's a Wretched Bomb.
Inquisition.
Okay. It doesn't pass the turn. Place Inquisition. Now we take it. Huge Inquisition here because
he needs to take the Squadron Hawk. Otherwise, the Squadron Hawk will foil his plan so hard.
Yeah, it's basically draw 3 cards. He will have creatures to sacrifice to Liliana. So yeah. Squadron Hawk is going without a question.
Yeah, Stoneforge Mystic will come down, obviously. The land, that's also quite nice. He plays the new land. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he already gave it away now.
Yeah.
I mean, he can also just play the fetch land and not crack it.
Yeah, and you need to crack it because you need to play Stoneforge Mystic.
But he already
has Urborg.
He has Urborg, so
Yes. Right.
if you want to go that route, so. But he is, of course, going for Stoneforge Mystic. And what is he going for? He's going to be Batterskull. I mean, he does have quite the equipment package.
Yeah, but Batterskull, I think you need to get a sword. Because the Batterskull, if your Stoneforge Mystic dies, you're never going to play it, and the sword is a better option.
I mean, I'm not that familiar with all the, what's it called?
Feast and Famine, is it?
Yeah, it's a Feast of Famine, but it's an invocation. No. Masterpiece, I don't know.
It's
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So good that you know the card. I mean, it is black and green mostly, so might have been able to figure it out myself. And there's a smallpox for Manuel, but here I think it would be devastating for himself. I mean, Christopher obviously can sacrifice the Give of Runes.
Yeah.
We know he has a third land. I'm not sure you said... well, no, he played the Antiplan,
He played the Antiplan, so the Manuel doesn't know about the third land, but he maybe gave it away with presenting a land drop and then putting it back in. So, but yeah, don't know if Manuel was that observative or if he even connect the dots.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's in a tough spot here because the range mind. I mean, okay, he's going for the smallpox.
So Giver must go. I think.
Yeah, I think
Soren must go.
Yeah, so he now has to sacrifice land and the creature. Yeah, the Give of Runes goes away, and one of the lands, and
now land drop. I'm curious if he fetches. I mean, I would, because I already have forgotten for Urborg, but it would be clever not to, actually.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't think it will be that relevant. I think it all comes down to whether Christopher can equip his Stoneforge next turn, connect, get Manuel to discard and play a second creature so he's not vulnerable to Liliana of the Veil.
That would be huge. So
Manuel, of course, going for the Mutavolt, and there's the Range Mind, which leaves Christopher in an interesting spot because he can either discard the equipment or 2 cards, and he's going for
2 cards. Yeah, I understand, because the one is a 1 mana creature which is relevant. The other is a 3 mana creature where he can't play it at the moment.
Yeah,
and he wants to equip anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if Manuel has another land and plays Liliana next turn...
He has another land, we know that.
Oh, okay, yeah, then Christopher needs a creature here. Okay, equips, attacks.
Connects for 3.
Has 3 damage, he gets to untap his lands, and Manuel has to discard a card.
Yeah, that's quite funny. If you have because you have a Regibomb, a land, and Liliana.
Oh, it's Ensnaring Bridge. It's actually Ensnaring Bridge.
It's Ensnaring Bridge?
I think it's Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, it's Ensnaring Bridge.
Ah, okay, not Regibomb.
Ooh, and he draws another. He has another creature. That's huge here.
Yeah. Now the land Liliana played doesn't do that much.
This has been huge.
This is Christopher's game to go, because maybe I should
maybe update the
game score.
Yeah, there's the Ghost Quarter.
So
I think Manuel's hand is Shrieking Affliction and Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe, I don't know. He's in a very tough spot here.
I think he still needs to go for Liliana, because he minimized the creatures on the board, so if he draws something like a Smallpox or another Liliana...
I'm thinking maybe discarding the Breach was a mistake. I think he should have gone Breach. I'm actually pretty sure he should have gone Breach. Okay, Shrieking Affliction. Maybe he thinks he can raise him, although with Martyr of Sands on the battlefield, I don't think that will be possible. Yeah, he's actually swinging back. Okay, he's trying to race. So, huge draw step for Christopher here. Anything but a land is basically fine.
Yeah, because even gaining some life with
with the martyr if
martyr,
it's
if you need to discard something, is great, and if you
okay, he's passing the turn.
he's holding back.
Okay, this
is
is very interesting.
yeah. I don't think that can be the right play. Even attacking only with the martyr would be fine to have if you want the blocker, the better blocker.
Okay. Now the martyr is gone. I mean, Manuel can even go for plus here. Wow.
That's huge.
Wow. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Okay, then it was a great play.
Wow. Okay. This game is over.
Yeah.
I don't think Manuel can come back from this. He has to draw Ensnaring Bridge.
Playing the land wasn't necessary actually, because it minimized the damage from the affliction, but yeah, he gains 4 life now.
Yeah, he's not sending in the martyr.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's killing the Liliana. Gets 3 damage. Alright. Passes the turn.
So
so Manuel needs bridge. Wow.
Pontus Reckoning.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's a top deck. Okay, maybe it's not over.
Wow. This is huge. I think Christopher's just dead now. This has been a very swingy game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he draws a creature now, maybe he can. Is it a creature? A 1-drop would be good.
A 1-drop.
1-drop equip because Manuel's lands are not untapping. Oh no, it's just another land. No, the lands shouldn't be untapped. Okay, yeah.
And playing the land, I mean, if you draw a 4-drop, you need it, but otherwise, now you get damaged.
Okay, he needs a creature now. He needs a creature now and a land next turn.
Yes. That's a good one.
Yeah, but now I think it's relevant that he should have tapped the fetch land.
Yes, he should. The question is if Ethan wants to play the 1-drop.
Sarah Senna does lifelink, right?
Not if it's not big enough. I don't know.
We'll check that. I think it has lifelink. Maybe not. Yeah, he's getting Sarah's Ascendant.
Okay.
Yeah, should have tapped the fetch land. It has lifelink, yeah. Raven's Crime gets rid of the Sarah Ascendant.
Another affliction. That's game.
Yeah. Passes the turn, and Christopher loses.
That's rough. What a rough game to watch.
That was a rough game. I feel like, I don't know. It was very swingy.
Yeah, I mean,
Christopher brought in the Kambal.
The Bontu from the top was a game changer.
I mean, the Battle Scar from the top was pretty huge.
Yes, that's true, but yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can check if the other game is still going on.
Thomas. 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 Thomas.
Okay. Our colleague will check if the other game is still going on.
And
because
if we can switch.
Of course, we have a backup feature match.
We're going back.
So, okay, I'm trying to think if Christopher goes for the Ranger Captain of Eos, taps the fetch land for black because, of course, his opponent has Urborg in play.
Yeah.
He can then follow up with Sarah Ascendant, which does not get hit by the Raven's Crime. And his Shrieking Affliction. he does still get the damage, so did his opponent? No, there was like one turn in between, right? There was like he was empty-handed, drew the Raven's Crime, played the Raven's Crime. Next turn,
The affliction, the Raven's Crime, yes.
next turn do the Affliction, so he would have had one turn to get down the Sarah Ascendant,
Yeah.
equip it with the sword, and then connect for 3. While he was down to 1, go up to 4, and then he still takes too much damage from the Shrinking Afflictions, right?
Yeah.
Because they deal 3 damage each.
So,
So I think even if he goes for the correct line, he loses here.
I see the people swapping their game.
Okay.
We have. I thought I can check which is whom, because I see Boros lands, but they're both playing
Both are
burn,
playing-
and they're not
No,
as
no,
far.
no. The-
Yeah, this is a Boros list and this is a burn list.
Yeah, it's a burn list, but the other one's definitely not a burn deck, because I can see multiple Gideons here. 4 Gideon Ella, 4 Gideon of the Trials, 2 Gideon Ella of Zendika, 2 Gideon Blackblade, Boros Reckoner, Soulfire Grandmaster. I can see Glorious Ends, so very interesting to see. People are getting set up. So
On the
Patrick is changing, of course, the names. We do now know that Susanne is on the left side, and
Yeah.
Amir, of course, our winner of last Mythic Champion qualifier, who was that was of course in the format standard, but he's back here to play the modern one as well.
Standings. Wer führt? Who is in the lead? Who is in the lead? Okay.
Burn is in the lead. So
It's game 2 at the moment.
all right, and I think we can jump right into the game. Patrick is still setting up. So Amir just played I think it's a core Firewalker,
Yes,
right?
it's the FNM promo version, and suspense Riftbow.
Which of course does not trigger his Monastery Swift Spear. And he's passing the turn.
And there's a white Leyland,
There's a ley line in play.
but the Gideon is still on 1 and the target, so
Susanne is playing a very interesting deck with multiple Gideons, but then also some burn spell. Also, is this Pact of Negation in her deck? That's huge. Pact of Negation with Gideon
is a nice
of the
play.
Trials
Yeah.
is
It's a nice play.
something most people won't expect. Okay, going for the Gideon emblem here.
Even if she knows that Gideon will die, but she has a black blade, so the next Gideon is in the starting position.
This is a very fun deck to watch. Very glad we get to see that here. I wonder whether... Okay, yeah. I think they're discussing now if the Rift Bolt can still target Planeswalkers. Of course, with the changes that you have to target Planeswalkers directly and no longer redirect,
You can,
you can now target them.
Yes.
So, we'll be... This is... I'm just taking a look at the deck list. It's
It's a
glorious piece.
I talked with Susanne before the tournament, and she said, "Yeah, it's Boros." And I said, "Oh, go burn." And said, "No, it's a homebrew and some special stuff, one-offs and so." But there are not a lot of one-offs, but it's very special, of course.
Yeah, I can see one of my favorite combos from back in the days, Boros Reckon and Blasphemous Act.
Yes,
Okay, wow, she's taking an extra turn.
because yeah, at the moment,
I think this is risky though, right? Because if now... Okay, he's taking a life. Amir's getting a life because of Glorious End.
and
Um,
but the Rift Bolt
The Rift Bolt fizzles.
stays suspended because the turn ends.
Okay, Amir doesn't have any instant speed
Yes,
interaction. Otherwise, this would have been huge.
Yes. So there's 4th land. That's really nice.
There's another Layla in
Yes.
Susanne's hand, but
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
There are 2 Boros charms, or 1 Boros charm at least. Then a Gideon Blackblade and maybe a second Boros charm. I'm not sure what the last card is. Yeah, it's another Boros charm. So 2 Boros charms and a Gideon Blackblade. The Blackblade comes with how many loyalty counters into play?
Good question. I think it's 4. Problem is, we do have like a laptop to check for cards we're not certain about, but unfortunately, I think it just crashed.
Okay, it comes with 4.
Comes with 4.
And you can up it
Yeah, but
for nothing. Well, it's okay because then it's
5 is enough to not get killed immediately
yes.
here. Yeah.
And with 2 Boros charms in play, and the other Gideon could prevent the damage from one of these 2 creatures if...
That's probably the reason why the Monastery Swift didn't attacked.
Yes.
Thank you. Got it. Okay, yeah. Using plus ability.
On the Gideon, which is
nice.
Yeah, which is nice. If she does it, I'm not sure. I mean, she could also prevent the core, but it doesn't matter because the the Swift Spear would kill the Gideon.
Isn't the damage getting prevented? We'll have to check that. Yeah, I think we have to restart the laptop because
it apparently crashed, yes.
It just crashed. So, Amir, of course, one of the big additions from Modern Horizons to the burn deck. With the Horizon land, cashing that in. Just draws another land, Inspiring Vantage, I think. Untaps. I think he has is it 2 skew of the critics in hand? And the Goblin Guide. I think it is. I saw a Goblin Guide.
Yeah. So now Amir need to use a lot of resources just to kill all the planeswalkers because with the Gideons in play,
yeah,
Susanne is untouchable more or less.
Yeah, I mean she can't lose, but she can still drop down like.
Yeah, you can go to 0 or -1 or whatever, but she can't lose, and as long as she can't lose, Amir can't win.
Yeah.
So in the long run, he needs to kill the planeswalkers.
I think it's a very interesting deck concept. Pairing planeswalkers with Leyline of Sanctity is somewhat of a nombo, because you kind of shut off the burn spells of the opponent, but then you don't. So
yeah, but yeah, I get your point, but you're buying time.
Yeah, I mean,
and time is obviously what this deck wants because it's had a lot of higher drops and the Gideons, and you need a setup.
Yeah, I wonder how the first game went that Amir brought in the core Firewalkers, because I actually don't think they're that relevant, because I don't think he will get burned out.
Maybe
I mean, there are lightning bolts and lightning helixes,
maybe,
and the Boros charms in Susanne's deck, but I don't think that's her.
There's a land.
Okay.
All the value.
Okay. So she drops down to 16.
And Gideon dies.
Gideon goes. So no more Gideon of the Trials, but of course the emblem counts any Gideon. So Gideon Blackblade will be good.
One of the skewer for the other Gideon, and the second skewer for the he does it. He kills.
And now kills the other one. Yeah.
And
loses a life.
But gain 1 life, so he stays even.
Yeah.
And
Gideon is gone.
That's a good turn.
Hello, Chainer Mage.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. We are, of course, in round 1 of our Mythic Championship qualifier.
Yes.
We already saw our friend Christopher on stream. Unfortunately, lose to Atrek, and now we're seeing a burn against Patrick labeled it Boros.
Yeah, because I can't read her writing Boros Grave, but I wouldn't mean anything because there's no graveyard interaction? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I would call it Boros Gideon.
Yes, me too.
There's Boros Reckoner, which of course is quite a nice creature here, especially when Amir is empty-handed. Quite the roadblock. And 2 Boros Charms in hand for Susanne.
Yeah.
Amir, of course, fetching now. I expect that he's he'll
She
be
could
cracking.
give Boros Reckoner lifelink.
Or indestructibility, right?
Oh, yes, or destructibility. Both are nice options.
I'm expecting a sacrificed land from Amir here. He's of course Boros Rave.
Boros Rave.
I didn't happen to catch the card that Amir drew.
No.
Sending in, of course, the Co-Firewalker. Because protection from back.
Right, yes.
No blocks. The Boros Reckoner, of course, can gain first strike, which is actually an relevant ability in creature combat.
Yes.
Especially against the smaller creatures, because Amir does have some burn spells as well. But pointing it at the Boros Reckoner, double-edged sword, because, as we know, he can just shoot right back at you.
So what was the draw step from Susanne?
I think it was Deflecting Palm.
Ah, okay.
Okay, wow. Huge setup here for her.
Yeah.
Okay, she's going in.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice because
She already has 8 points of damage
in her
hand, plus
and
Deflected Palm.
yes, blood 3 damage now.
Yeah,
If
although it's only like 3 damage each, right? Okay, yeah. So Amir is gaining a life. Okay, I can see how the Core Firewalker is relevant in this matchup.
Yes.
Because if it comes down to a situation, the small points of life will matter, and of course, it can attack into the Boros Reckoner, and it doesn't get hit by the Blasphemous Act.
Yes. I find it interesting that Susanne went for the double strike option. Obviously on the Boros Reckoner, but it's less damage than just burning for 4. I don't get it.
I'm not sure. Okay. Wow, drawing another land here.
That's nice.
Goblin Guide doing work for Susanne.
So she's on 9 now, I suppose. It's not doing anything.
So Amir kept back the Core Firewalker, who can safely block the Boros Reckoner. Although the Boros Reckoner then is able to shoot and take out creatures. So I'm not sure attacking was right on Susanne's part. She's going for the Deflecting Palm here. Gains the life. So Deflecting Palm, of course, can't target Core Firewalker.
Yeah.
Wonder, is she playing like Path to Exile? Yeah.
Yeah, she
Susanne is
does.
playing Path to Exile. So,
So it's 9 to 11.
she went for the face again.
Yes. She thinks she's in a race. Which is land into land is a bit of sad.
Okay.
And she needs to stay back now.
Yeah, I don't think she can win the race.
I mean, she does less damage now, and she has 7 damage even if she does connect, which she won't.
Yeah. There's no reason to attack here. Yeah, passes the turn because I assume Amir is not cracking his fetch land pre-combat. Goes for Sacred Foundry. Susanne, of course, stuck with the second Leyline in hand. I mean, kind of stuck. She can, of course, play it, but there's no reason to.
Thanks for the compliment, Weisen. We try our best.
I don't know what Amir's last card in hand is. He's hiding it very well.
Yes.
Okay, untaps. And another unknown card.
Yeah. But
another
it's a
Firewalker and
Firewalker
Searing
and Searing
Blaze.
Blaze. Okay, so we'll have
Okay, yeah.
Attack for 2. But that's even okay. Now, I mean, attack for 4 is bad, and getting 2 lives out of your 4. Yes, this should have happened in response.
Yeah, that should have happened in response. And even then, I don't think it's a winning play.
Necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. Amir is thinking about it. I mean, Susanne needs to draw Blasphemous Act, right?
Yes.
To win. And even then,
That's
I mean,
okay.
how much damage is Blasphemous Act?
13.
13, okay, yeah. Okay, that will be enough.
That's good enough, yes.
That will be enough. But
That's
it's a Gideon.
Gideon is also very nice. Shutting down the core Firewalker, one of them. And forcing maybe an overextension.
I mean, Amir is already pretty much all in at this point. The Searing Blaze is in his hand is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to target the Boros Reckoner with it, I think. He does have the option to, like, point at this Goblin Guide to gain 2 life.
Yeah,
so
but okay.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's an option, but I'm not sure if it's an option I would like, actually.
I mean, it's a very strange matchup, and so you do have to take, like, awkward measures to win it.
Yeah, I
so
mean, the chat was right when telling we have unorthodox modern decks at the moment. I mean, we have Burn, which is a staple, but the Wreck and the life gain deck is also not common, and this brew from Susanne is very special as well.
Yeah, an interesting interaction is that if the Gideon goes for the Firewalker and he does block the Boros Reckoner with it, Susanne doesn't get to shoot the damage.
Yeah, because it doesn't do damage.
It doesn't deal any damage at all.
Yeah, but
which is
awkward
again, I think. She's in a very tough position. Although the Boros Reckoner is the best creature on the table, it's
the masses of the red deck.
Yeah.
Does it work? And
okay, she's sending it in.
Yeah.
This is not good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Okay, yeah. Gonna read that card again.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah, deals no damage now.
In other way around, it would be okay. Then she could shoot 2 damage at least.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, what are you gonna shoot?
Yeah,
the Goblin Guide, right?
Yeah, the Goblin Guide, or maybe the Swift Spear, because the Goblin Guide even gives you lands.
Yeah, but it's 2 damage.
Yeah.
Is there another Goblin Guide for me? I think.
And now the all-in play will even kill the Gideon again, because she doesn't have a blocker.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
It's another Goblin Guide, which is huge. So against 2 life. 7.
Wreck 1.
Yeah, the Wreck 1. Okay, so he sends 2 at Gideon and 3 to the 2 Goblin Guides at Gideon and 3 to the face. Keep core Firewalker back. Is there any reason to hold back? I don't think there is, right? You need to stay as aggressive as possible.
Yeah.
You
hold back the Firewalker, which doesn't do damage, so you have a blocker for the creature.
Yeah, I mean it's. Although Amir is a bit ahead on board, okay, yeah, he's taken an interesting approach here. He's using the Searing Blaze on his Swift Spear, which gives him 2 life, but also pumps the Swift Spear.
Yes.
Very nice interaction.
And
so he's gaining a life in total because, of course, Searing Blaze does deal damage.
And now he attacks for 8 damage and 4 to the Planeswalker, 4 to the face.
Yeah. He needs to get rid of the Planeswalker. He can't kill Susanne because, of course, the Gideon emblem.
There's the land for the first. The second does also trigger.
Okay, yeah. Second one. Oh, Glorious Ants.
Yeah, but now your Gideon is gone. And it's
yeah,
not good anymore.
So she draws Glorious Ants, which means she does not die. but has to find a Gideon in the next draw step, right?
Yes.
That's basically it. She can't attack with... Oh, she can attack with Boros Reckoner now, right?
Yeah.
I think you need to.
You need to attack
Because there's no reason to hold it back because you're going to play Glorious End anyway.
That's right. Yeah. And you can at least do damage, or yeah, you need to deal the damage to the face.
Yeah. So she needs to draw either a Gideon to stay alive or top deck plus Famous Act.
Yes.
Either one is fine.
Yes.
Is there any? I mean, she does have a few
She has
Gideons.
Angel's Grace as well to stay
Oh, okay.
alive. I mean,
This deck is great.
don't know if she boarded it out, but it's a possibility.
I don't think she boarded that one out. The sideboard is all also straightforward. 4 Leyline of Sanctity, 3 Damping Sphere, 4 Blood Moons, 4 Rest in Peace.
Yeah. She didn't attack, so...
Which is interesting.
Regarding the question if we have Infect in the tournament, we don't know. Lol. We don't know at the moment because we don't have a Mythic game. Right now we will have later, and then we can tell you that.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 points of power. Amir, of course, in this spot, interestingly enough, knows about the Glorious End. So he now has to plan as well. How do I attack? How many blockers do I leave back? What am I afraid of?
But what is he afraid of?
I mean, as I said, the Gideon will stabilize and keep her alive for 1 more round at least.
Yeah, but he knows she has two hands, two cards.
In hand. Yeah, and one of these cards hasn't been played in a million years,
Yes,
so he's probably assuming it's either land
or a blank.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you fear? You fear the Blasphemous Act, but you die anyway, so why you don't go all in?
Yeah. Okay, keeping 2 blockers behind. So trigger, it's a land.
Again.
I mean, trigger.
She plays 22 lands.
It's a Soulfire Grandmaster.
That's not enough.
I don't think that... Yeah, that's not enough. You're right. I think she's just dead now. Is there a possibility to block and stay alive this turn? I don't see it. It's no. It's exactly 5.
Yes.
Okay, smart attack from Amir. So... Just to block, give first strike. Let the first strike damage resolve, then use Glorious End, and then die gloriously on her end step.
Sorry.
Yeah. Block the Goblin Guards. Yeah, I mean, either way, doesn't matter. She's trying to think about it.
The only way she would survive is if some of Amir's creatures would have first strike. Then she could take the first strike damage,
yeah,
shoot
the other yeah, okay, but that's not happening here.
No.
So unfortunately, Susanne will come to her end here.
I think so too. She's.
I think she's trying to figure out if there's like some way to stay alive, but
yeah, she needs to play
the Glorious End here.
Doesn't even first strike kill the creature.
Doesn't matter anymore at this point.
She knows she's dead, more or less. So we have a draw step. We know the draw step. We play the land or not. It doesn't matter.
Soulfire Grandmaster does bounce.
No.
Does return
cards.
Cards.
And
okay, I'm just trying to figure out. You can loop Glorious End with Soulfire Grandmaster, right? Because you just like keep on ending your end step. End step, Glorious End ability on the stack, then end the turn again.
You need you need something to do with the Grandmaster to get it back.
You have to pay mana, I think.
Only mana, no damage done, no attack step, no nothing.
Isn't it like 4 mana and you get to return the cards? There are too many weird cards here. And
yes, and it's the standard season is too long ago.
The next time you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, put the card into your hand instead of in your grave as a result. So you actually, for 7 mana, you can keep ending like
your turns.
Your turns.
Sweet. So we are back in the booth. We saw 2 very interesting games, actually.
Yeah, matches actually.
Matches, yes, matches.
3 interesting games.
Yeah,
2 awesome matches.
and two decks. I mean, the deck from Susanne is a brew, so it's actually very special. But also the rec deck, you don't see it very often. So
Yeah, I'm very excited, especially in the first rounds. You do get to see some brews later off when in the tournament, the staple decks, of course. They usually perform better than those brews. I mean,
or
there's
maybe you get the sweet spot.
maybe you get the sweet spot and do happen to win a lot, but usually, especially in camera in the later tournament, we have like the special ones.
Yeah.
The usual ones, not the special ones. So good for us for picking out three special decks
In
and
the first
burn.
round. Yes.
Although you are a burn enthusiast, so
Yeah, but my burn enthusiasm is legacy related, because I think that's the only really good burn deck there. So yeah, modern burn is another cup of coffee. So the round is still going. I think it's 3 minutes left, give or take. So we'll take a short break and come back with the second round with new awesome games for you. Stay tuned.
stay tuned. See you soon.